Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you, anywhere you are in the world. We're doing a nighttime devotion from the devotional Maranatha. The title today, Christ, our helper and redeemer. Romans 5:19. As by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. Because man, fallen, could not overcome Satan with his human strength, Christ came from the royal courts of heaven to help him with his human and divine strength combined. Christ knew that Adam in Eden, with his superior advantages, might have withstood the temptations of Satan and conquered him. He also knew that it was not possible for man, out of Eden, separated from the light and love of God since the fall, to resist the temptations of Satan in his own strength. In order to bring hope to man, save him from complete ruin, he humbled himself to take man's nature, that with his divine power combined with the human, he might reach man where he is. He obtains for the fallen sons and daughters of Adam that strength which is impossible for them to gain for themselves, that in his name they may overcome the temptations of Satan. Adam and Eve in Eden were placed under most favorable circumstances. They were without the condemnation of sin. The author of their existence was their teacher. But they fell beneath the power and temptations of the artful foe. 4,000 years had Satan been at the work against this government of God, and he had obtained strength, experience from determined practice. Fallen men had not the advantages of Adam and Eden. They had been separating from God for 4,000 years. The wisdom to understand, the power to resist, the temptations of Satan had become less and less until Satan seemed to reign triumphant in the earth. Appetite and passion, love of the world, presumptuous sins were the great branches of evil out of which every species of corruption grew. Our lives may seem like a tangle, but as we commit ourselves to the wise master worker, he will bring out the pattern of life and character that will be to his own glory. And that character which expresses the glory, the character of Christ, will be received into the paradise of God. Everyone who by faith obeys God's commandments will reach the condition of sinlessness in which Adam lived before his transgression. That title again: Christ, our helper and redeemer. So this, in essence, is telling us that Adam fell because of temptation. He only had his human strength, but he had far more advantages than we had, because we, I suppose you could say genetically, are born into sin, whereas he wasn't. So we are innately sinful as babies, you could say. It's just waiting to wake up, so to speak. Sad to say. Jesus knew what he needed to do to take on human form. He knew what he was up against. And it's not so much he did it to show us how we can do it. Mm-mm. He did it because we can't do it. And in him doing it, we look to him to do it for us. But it's not so we can stay in sin, and it's not a case of once saved, always saved. Every single day is that same battle. But that battle is not ours if we give it to Christ. That's not to say we go sailing along, not at all. We're on our knees constantly. If not literally on our knees, in our head, we're on our knees. We should be praying daily. We should be asking Jesus for cover daily. We should be asking him to make our choices for us daily. So no, it's not plain sailing when you're baptized. That's it. You're done. You're saved. Not at all. That's when the battle really begins. Jesus condescended from heaven to take on human form, to be that we could not be. So we could then, I suppose you could say, ride on his shirt tails, trusting him, relying on him, depending fully on him, that he will take the right road and lead us in the right way, which he is and he will, because he has. 100% confident in Jesus, not me.